Welcome to the Halloween episode of Podcast the Musical.
That was a banshee.
Oh, I was like, is it a really tiny ghost?
I moved the mic away from my face because I didn't want to kill everyone's ears.
Yeah, awesome, scary and scary, spooky.
Good. Yeah, we don't want to be scary. We just want to be spooky, which is pretty much what Supernatural is normally.
Yes, exactly. And thank you, Kayla, for introducing the point and subject of the episode. We are reviewing today Season 10. Yeah.
Wow.
Season 10, Episode 5 of Supernatural, called Fan Fiction. It's all on Netflix. So if you haven't watched it, you should go watch it.
Yeah, I think you should.
Because, spoilers, I loved it.
I did too.
Oh,
I mean, I think I probably didn't like it as much as you do, just because you tend to be more enthusiastic than me, but I was into it.
Me too. And that's coming from a place where we both watched it with basically no... Okay, well, let's get into it. What's your history with Supernatural?
My history with Supernatural. I've seen, I think, like, the first few. Like, it might be up to, like, 6 or 7, but then I stopped because I started it because I had heard a lot of good things about it. People who like it are really into it, and even it's not like just like because it's a CW show, right? So,
well, not after season 2, like season 2 on, it was CW, which we can talk about that later. But go ahead.
Okay,
but
so
it is a very CW-esque show, absolutely.
Right. Just because it's hot guys, and so I think it's one of those things, and I found this in the YouTube comments too, all these men trying to defend themselves for watching the show because it's got a reputation for being a teen girl loved show, which is kind of what this whole episode is about, which is great. We love self-aware shows, and this one was all over the place, breaking the fourth wall, everything. So anyway, I've seen the first few episodes because I heard it was good, despite the whole reputation for being teen girl. Because teen girls like something doesn't automatically make it bad. I do want to say, but sometimes it tends to be shallow what they like, based on just like it's hot guys, kind of like teenage boys like things that are hot girls. They're all just horny little kids.
Right. Well, makes sense.
But I had actually heard from people that are like my age that it's a good show. So I started watching it, and I think the first season is just not very good, or is really, really episodic and really
Monster of the Week.
Yeah, it feels like. I mean, I never watched X-Files, but it feels like a teeny spoof version of X-Files, maybe. So, I just didn't think the writing was all that good, so I didn't really have a reason to stick around. But now I'm thinking maybe I want to go through and start getting into the actual storyline, because this one recapped some of that storyline. It seemed like crazy because it was all thrown at us in like one monologue of a scene, but it was cool. So, yeah, that's my experience. I know it a little bit from the beginning.
Okay, I might even know less than that, because I don't even think I made it to episode 6 the first time I watched it. Because I watched this episode last night, and then I was like, man, I kind of want to watch this show. And so then I went back and watched the pilot last night, and then I watched episode 2 today, and then I started episode 3 and didn't really remember it. So I think I only watched the first 2 episodes. Back when I started it. Yeah.
So when was that?
I don't know. A long time ago.
Yeah, because this show is the oldest show ever. This episode that we're watching is the oldest. I mean, is the longest marked episode of any show that we've reviewed, including whatever it was that we hated so much. I don't even want to mention it. I hated it so much. Seventh Heaven.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that show ended up going 10 seasons too. Is this still on the air?
Yes, it just got picked up for an 11th season.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. If with season 11, it's going to be the longest running sci-fi show in U.S. history.
Oh.
I mean, because nobody's going to beat Doctor Who, but...
Oh, right.
But still, I mean, that's huge. I mean, 10 seasons, that's... What's the longest one? Like Gunsmoke or something? With like 14?
I have no idea. MASH went a really long time.
Let's ask Siri.
Okay.
Siri, what's the longest running TV show?
Checking on that. Okay, I found this on the web for what's the longest running TV show.
What's the longest TV show?
I know. Yeah, that's the only reason I still have it on British, because it's hilarious.
What did you find?
Well, I mean, stuff like, okay, CBS Evening News has been running for 67 years.
I want to bring up the comparison to Twilight. It's probably going to come up later, but I want to bring it up right now to say that this show was really similar to Twilight, and I want to say I like Monster of the Week episodes in Twilight.
Sure.
But...
they're not the best episodes.
No, I do like them, actually. I mean, I really like when there's a string of Monster of the Week episodes.
No, and I'm saying, what I'm saying is I like them too, but they are not the best episodes of the show. I mean, that's true, but
I'd be happy with a whole show of Monster of the Week episodes with Buffy, or whatever we're calling it now.
Bella.
But so I didn't like it as much with Supernatural, but that's not necessarily the reason. But with Supernatural, I feel a little jealous. I feel a little jealous that Supernatural gets to go 11 seasons and Twilight only gets to go 7. I mean, I know everyone on that show was probably like done by that time, but it's, I mean, and then they've made it work.
We wouldn't have, yeah. Yeah. I'm glad, because I mean, the showrunner for Supernatural was done after 5 seasons.
Yeah, and apparently, I mean, I don't know how dependent this show's like feeling is on the showrunner, but you know, Buffy is that way. You can't just carry on without all those writers and without Joshua and stuff. So
yes, I agree. So
even though it does carry on in the comics, this will be the Buffy cast, everyone. We are not talking about Supernatural
Welcome
today.
Welcome to the Buffy cast.
I don't know. I'm trying to make it more Halloween-y.
With my guest, Count Chocula. So yeah, we can just jump right in. Supernatural is in its 10th season, and we're on episode 5. And Sam and Dean and Sam, show up at this all-girls school. In, where was it? Do you remember where it was?
Oh, no. I don't know. Virginia somewhere or something?
Yeah, I don't know. They say it at the beginning, but I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Some town in, rural Nowheresville. And there's this play being produced by this school, and there's tension. There's some tension between the director and some of the cast members. And the sponsor, like the faculty sponsor's like, I'm out, and she leaves and gets taken by weird grass tentacles.
So we do know that there's something supernatural happening.
Yes, something strange is afoot.
And I feel like that happens. That's like the formula of this show, which is
absolutely cold open. I guess it's technically not a cold open, but it's open. Something climactic happens, and then cut to Sam and Dean going there.
Yeah, hearing about it in the paper and being able to identify. Oh no, there's a bug in my wine glass. Get out! I have fruit flies, and they like wine. Get out! Don't let your babies in there. Oh no! Oh. I'm still gonna drink it.
Good.
You all need to know that Josh waited a long time to start this, and so what was I left to do but watch Pentatonics videos and drink wine?
That's the only thing you can do.
Right, in that situation. And so
Yes.
that's what I've done. And I drank a significant amount.
Well, it can't be too much because you can still say the word significant. So Sam and Dean show up at this all-girls school because something strange is afoot, and they walk in, and this whole entire episode is just a series of interesting moments, right? So they walk in, and scene opens on the beginning of the play, and a girl dressed like Dean singing the song, basically, that is the explanation of the pilot of the show. And Sam and Dean are like, what is going on?
Yes, I know. I love their reactions in that scene. Mm-hmm. They are perfectly acted. You can tell these guys like know their roles really well, like obviously. Can I also say that I was cheering at this moment, cheering that we finally have fantastic female voices.
Oh my, no. I was so impressed. I was like,
I was so happy.
Everyone, stop talking. Shut up.
Yeah.
And keep singing. Don't stop singing.
Finally, we've got a good girl. I mean, there's too many shows that we've had where there've just been disappointing female voices. And it's like, come on, so many girls sing. You could get a girl with a good voice. I was so happy.
Me too. And their reactions are great. And Sam's like, yeah, something weird's happening here. And it probably has something to do with all of this.
Yeah, all the one-liners in this, all of their little like looks at each other and breaking the fourth wall and their little quips and stuff, they're all really well timed and really well done. I liked them. Yeah.
And I want to say that we may be missing out on quite a bit. And that's how much I enjoyed this episode, is that I think we are missing out. And I could tell because I was missing out on a lot of little in-jokes just because we're not familiar with the whole show. Because this show was written specifically for the fans and not just a broad audience, but for the super fans, right?
Yes. And they make fun of them a little bit. I was a little surprised at how much they poked fun at some of
shipping.
Like the shipping, of course. And
great.
Some of the theories and the stuff like that.
I loved it. I loved every second of that. When she's like, we do explore the relationship of DSTL later in Act 2. And he's like, what? DSTL? It's like, subtext. and it's like, you can't spell subtext without
S-E-X.
And then Dean turns and looks directly at the camera. It's fantastic. It was great.
I liked it too. And I liked there's a whole bit that they do where Sam is trying to figure out the best like celebrity name for any of the people involved. And he's like, what about Sastiel?
It's like, you shut up.
What about,
get your butt in the car.
What about Castine?
Castine.
I don't even know who this Castiel person is. I assume he's an angel because that character in their little play had angel wings. Did you look it up? Can you give me some background if you looked it up?
I didn't. I did some background information, like cursory stuff, but I was actually trying to be a little selective of the things that I looked at because I didn't want to do any spoilers because I actually do want to watch the show. But yeah, Castiel's an angel, and he actually was not supposed to be a reoccurring role. And then overwhelming fan response kept bringing him back. But yeah, it was a lot of those little moments were great. I loved May, the stage director. She was hilarious to me.
Do you mean Marie?
I thought her name was May.
I'm pretty sure it's Marie. The main girl?
No. The stage manager.
Oh, the one with the glasses? Oh, they both had glasses, but I don't remember her name, so you're probably right. Everyone's name starts with M. The names I have written down are Marie and Maggie, and if you say the other girl is May, someone's not creative.
Well, yeah, but they also had a girl named Siobhan.
Okay, that's, I guess, different.
But May is great when, I think that's her name, or maybe I've just been watching too much Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And when Sam and her go up into the booth, and he's like, he asks her some question, and I don't know what it is, but she's like, you mean like this? And she just stares at him while pushing up the sliders on the sound effects board, or this.
He was
and
like,
then pushing up the...
Did you hear any like weird sounds or whatever? She's like,
oh,
you mean like this? You mean like this?
but she locks eyes on him and doesn't look away. Yeah. And everything she says is super dry and really, I thought she was great.
Yeah, like at the end when their friend Adam or something, they're like, oh, who's that person supposed to be? She goes, it's Adam. He's still trapped in a cage in hell with Lucifer. which reading from the YouTube comments is like at this point in the show is actually what the deal is with Adam. And so a lot of people sort of took that to kind of mean maybe Adam will come back. Like maybe like that's something we're supposed to think about, because I think that's their half brother. And so they left him in hell, I guess. And they need to go get him or not care and go on their little joyride, which is what they do most of the time.
Right. And so they're trying to figure out what is stealing their classmates and teachers, because another little girl gets taken. One of the cast. I shouldn't say little girl. She's like, what, 16? She gets taken from the outside the theater at night. And they start figuring out that all the people that are taken are people that are trying to shut down the play. And so that's what leads them to believe that it's a tulpa, which is a manifestation of someone's strong psychic desire, basically. And so...
but like artist... Or wait...
No, a tulpa.
Oh, right. The tulpa. Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so they're like, well, it must be a manifestation of your strong desire to keep the play going. And Sam's like, I don't think it's a tulpa. Like, that requires a lot of psychic mojo, blah, blah, blah. And so they go kill the scarecrow because that's the thing that has been taking the people.
They go kill
the prop
scarecrow that they had put in the play. And the girl based it on a legend that she heard when she was little. And I think that's a nice little false trail, because at least in the episodes I watched in the first season, like that's a thing that they base a lot of stuff on, a lot of storylines on.
The local legend.
Local legends are always true. They're always based on something real. Sometimes they don't get everything right, and so that's kind of cool plot points, and shows how smart Sam and Dean are about, kind of being able to listen and observe, but also know what's really out there and what the locals might be seeing as, okay, you think that's Bigfoot, but it's actually a tulpa or something, But it was a false trail because what happened next? Because
they destroyed the thing and the prop, and they come back in and they're like, we destroyed the thing. And Sam's like, well, too bad, because it's not a tulpa. And
but can I say one thing first, is that when they destroy the scarecrow prop, they put it in a burning fire in the boiler room. And what high school has a fired furnace, like a boiler that runs on real fire?
I don't know. I mean, it may be really, really old. I don't know. I mean, I've lived in houses that, like, my old house was a propane, had a propane furnace and had real fire. Yeah, sure.
But that looked like it was not propane. I mean, that looked like it was like burning firewood.
Yeah, it did. It looked like there should be 40 sweaty men shoveling coal into it.
I guess it was just convenient so they could burn the prop that they had. But
yeah, I guess.
I was like, I'm finding it's hard to believe that.
And so they come back and Sam's like, it's not a tulpa, it's Calliope. And they're like, wait, what? Who's Calliope? The muse, the
god,
the goddess of epic poetry. And
she's gonna eat Marie.
Right. And she's gonna eat Marie because that's her bag. And so they're like, well, I guess that means we have to see this play to its conclusion, which Dean hates because he's been very against it so far.
Yes.
And
because they get everything wrong because they have robots and what is it? Robots and something spaceships and ninjas.
Right. Later on, when Calliope's like, if I have to watch Act 2 one more time, they have robots and tentacles in space. I can't. And she's like,
I can't even.
I can't even.
Which is so great because this, like, the Tumblr generation is the one that are shipping all these people, and I can't even is a Tumblr generation phrase.
Yep.
And
it's on their. It's like the Latin on their flag.
Yeah. We literally can't even.
And so they figure it out. They put on the play, and it's so good. Like. Mm-hmm. The production value, the music is fantastic. The production value is incredible. Like, they just do lots of things right. Having been in lots of small shows, there are so many different things that small shows do wrong, and they do all of the little things right, and it's really, really good.
Tell me about these little things.
Okay, so, like, a person standing under two streetlights, right? And it's supposed to indicate them being on the side of a road, right? They use the streetlights. They force perspective of the streetlights. So instead of just having two streetlights or just one streetlight or whatever, they force perspective by putting one streetlight a little bit lower and behind. So it looks like the road's going back off into the distance, and it's very cool and symbolic. And in like higher production shows, you would have like lights on gobos moving past to indicate cars passing by, or you even could have you could have a video wall in the back showing cars passing by, or lights or whatever. But they just have two. It's great. They have two of these little spotlights, evenly spaced on a stick, and a girl is just swinging it, in a manner that's supposed to indicate a car passing, and she does it perfectly, and it's great. It's just really high production value for really cheap stuff.
And I was about to give you a hard time for comparing this to other like small productions because this is actually done by like an entire TV production company. But I do want to say that I think that they did the small production feel perfectly.
Right.
Like with the cardboard car and the painted backdrop, things like that. I think that they nailed that, where so often when you see a play or a musical being done on a TV show, it's pretty obvious that they had like high production
an enormous
help.
Budget. Yep.
Yeah. And it's like, or that they're trying too hard to make it really small feeling. Like, they're like, okay, well, we're going to only use cardboard. We're going to make it look like crap.
Right.
Like they just don't really know how to make it look like a small group of people without many resources is trying very hard. And I think this did it very well with that. They didn't have any like over extravagant sets, but they also didn't have like stuff obviously like nailed together trying to look like really rustic and put together with bubblegum.
Yes, I agree. It's what it felt like was it felt like a couple really talented people working very hard with a small budget instead of like a ton of people for like a TV show with a huge budget trying to make it look small.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was great. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And the music was really good. But it's still, the music was good, but the lyrics still felt very expositionally written by a high schooler, Can
we just say one of the songs is called A Single Man Tear?
I lost it. I lost it when I heard that.
Because it took itself so seriously, and it was perfect.
And it was beautiful. Like, the actual music of it was great.
Yeah! And sung beautifully.
And then, like, there's one line in it that's like, yet through a manly sheen, he something, a single man tear. It was awesome. I loved it.
And then, so that I think that was my favorite scene. People gush over the last scene when they sing "Carry On My Wayward Son," but I
was less impressed by that. Actually, I was like, you've got 8. I think it was about 8. You've got 8 fantastically talented female singers. Throw some harmonies in there. Stop making 8 people sing unison.
Yeah, I mean, that is "Carry On My Wayward Son," though. I mean, it's just a bunch of dudes singing unison, and it sounds really powerful.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
There's lots of great harmonies in "Carry On My Wayward Son."
Not at the beginning. Not at the beginning when they're singing that chorus, like, a cappella. It's 100% unison. I know you are, and I know I'm going to be right, so I'm going to let you. But back to Man Tears. I loved that scene because of all of the fighting that goes on, and it's like equally comical and scary, and I just liked the seriousness mixed with the comedy. It was perfect. I mean, it's such a seasoned show. Like, it knows what it's doing, you know?
Well, it's better after 10 seasons.
Right, but it's clear that that's there. I mean, freaking Seventh Heaven doesn't know where the hell it's going after 9 seasons.
Very true. Yes.
You know? It's run out of storylines, run out of jokes, run out of anything to talk about. So I liked that a lot.
All right, I'm listening to it. It's absolutely not. It's 3-part harmony at the beginning.
It is absolutely unison.
No. Then you're listening to the wrong version, my friend.
Well, I don't know what you're listening to, but I'm going to look this up. Carry on my wayward son. You're listening to the Kansas version, like the old...
Yeah.
I can't believe we're doing this right now. Damn it.
I told you. I've been singing Kansas. I've been singing and listening to Kansas since I was 5 years old. It's one of my dad's favorite bands.
I can't believe I'm wrong. For years in my head, I've deliberately thought the beginning of Carry On Wayward Son is unison. Like, in my head, I have thought that for years.
That's one of Kansas's main things, is that they had such great, tight male harmonies.
Well, I don't know. Like, I thought it doesn't last very long. It's just like 2 stanzas. And so, like, it could just be like, here's the opening. We're very, very strong in unison, but it's not. So, all right, fine. Should we talk about that last song?
Sure.
Do we want to...
Yeah, we can. I mean, did you look anything up about it?
I read the YouTube comments, and people were, like, bawling. People thought this was the greatest thing they'd ever seen in the world. Clearly, they hadn't actually listened to the real song ever. Right. Clearly, this was not that generation.
Right, exactly. Or maybe they just heard, like, the Glee version. Has Glee ever done it? Maybe. I don't know.
Probably.
They probably have. It's classic rock. They probably have.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I really enjoyed was when, at the beginning, she's like, damn. that's my fan shipping name for Dean and Sam is Damn. Sam says...
Well, actually, do you want to know what it's actually called?
Sure.
You know what their last name is, like Winchester or something?
Uh-huh.
So it's called Wincest.
That makes sense.
It's creative, but it's creepy as hell.
Yeah, it's true. Well, yeah. I mean, slash fic, it's gonna be creepy. That's by its very nature.
True. Quite true.
But Dean's like, and if there's no singing in Supernatural, and if there was, it would be classic rock. It wouldn't be this Andrew Floyd Webber crap. and Marie's like, we do sing a cover of Carry On My Wayward Son in Act 2. And Sam's like, really? And then Marie and Dean both say at the same time, it's a classic. And it's great.
Yes. My favorite line from the show was probably, whatever, no day but today. And then the little stage manager goes, did he just quote Rent? Not enough to get us in trouble. Which I mean, I think that's
out loud.
Yes.
I heard that now. I laughed just raucously
I mean,
out loud.
yeah, because that's very obviously, right, writers saying we're totally stealing this line, but just enough so that you recognize what show it's from, but we don't get in trouble for copyright things.
That's so good. It was great. I also, reading the trivia, there was a point where Maria's saying, oh, they're rehearsing the BM scene, and he's like, the bowel movement scene?
Oh,
no.
That happens several times. Did you not catch it? Because
No, I
Dean
did.
later... I'm never gonna call Sam
Dean. Or Dean
I'm always
Sam.
gonna call Sam Dean because of Gilmore Girls. And we had this discussion back in the Joshua Jackson episode when there was a character named Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know why they didn't consider that. I guess maybe they didn't think Gilmore Girls was that popular, or that there weren't going to be many crossover fans. But obviously they are.
I mean, it had been going for 5 years. I mean, Gilmore Girls was 2000 to 2007, and Supernatural started in 2005. Jared Padalecki went straight from Gilmore Girls to Supernatural.
And it's the same network? Like, what?
Yeah.
Someone, I feel, just didn't really think this through. I don't know. I mean, it obviously doesn't cause that many problems with people because they understand, and there's like plenty of fans of the show. It's been going for 11 years. That's fine. But for me, right now, I'm annoyed because I have a really hard time knowing who's who in this.
Yeah. Well, for me, I just need to watch a whole lot more Supernatural because Sam is an infinitely better character than Dean. Dean is a boring old pile of...
You're talking Dean from Gilmore Girls.
Yes.
Yeah, you should say that.
He's a lukewarm pile of milk. So yeah, so they go through this bit where they keep the show going, and Sam gets pulled into the set through a weird wormhole thing. Like the Scarecrow can apparently teleport or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I guess he's like an extension of Calliope, so
yeah.
He can just like pull people wherever she is. I mean, we don't have to go through like the step-by-step what happens here, but all I want to mention is that there's purple goo all over the audience, and it's hilarious.
It's really funny, which I thought was great because whenever Marie at the intro of the play, she's like, you guys might want to put on your ponchos because it's gonna get a little bit Gallagher up in this piece. It was great. Which, did you get that reference? Did you get the Gallagher reference?
No, is that part of your quiz?
No, it's not.
Okay, well, I don't know. I didn't know what it was.
Gallagher is a famous, I think he's a comedian, but his whole, he's, I think, primarily one of those Vegas comedians that just plays the same show.
Like Rip Taylor.
Yeah. And so, but his whole shtick is he hits things with hammers, like watermelons and fruit. And so, like, everybody gets all messy in the front row.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like a reference to gore or like a reference to water. Like, I don't know what... Were they planning on massacring something on stage so that then it would spray?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's what it was going to be, but I think it was going to be a reference to gore. Yeah, like, they were going to kill something, and it was going to be all fake bloody everywhere. But then she's like, and fair warning, you may just get wet on this ride. And she said it in such a way that I was like, what? Is that a, what?
Oh, like it was maybe like a sexual thing?
Maybe, like, just the way she said it. And I was just like, is that another like poke at the shipping audience, you know?
Maybe. I don't know.
It may be a little bit too
maybe too far
out there, but still, it was really funny. Just her whole little intro was really funny. So anyway, they kill Calliope, and it's in a really funny way. The girl, like right after Calliope's like, it's epic. The girl hits her in the back of the head with a copy of the Odyssey, which is great.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. That's great.
She says something like, book this or something like, what does she say?
She has a dumb line, and it's given. I hated that part.
It was really dumb.
Because it was, just hit her. Like, don't say anything. Just hit her. She's gonna notice you. But I don't know. She just gooped purple everywhere, and it was fine.
It's the very tropey thing of the witty rejoinder before offing the villain or whatever.
Right. And like, Twilight did that to its extent, right? No one else should do it anymore. Stop.
Right.
They did it so many times that it got old with them. So that was back in the 90s. Leave it alone.
Yep. There's a book that I just finished reading. It's the second, the first book of the second trilogy of the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. And there's a part where this villain is about to shoot one of the main characters. And he stops to say a little witty line, and then someone hits him in the back of the head, and the woman who hits him in the back of the head shoots the guy, and then is like, see, now and then says a witty line. It's like, see how easy that is? You say it after you kill them. They can't do anything about it.
That's great.
It's awesome.
That's great.
So they kill Calliope, which kind of made me like, you just killed an ancient Greek god? I don't...
Just easy as that.
Just like, ta-da? Like, I don't think so. Which I really like the Harry Dresden way of doing things. When like when these giant, powerful, like demons and demigods make their way into the mortal world, it's not actually them making their way into the mortal world. It's just a manifestation of their will, like being imprinted upon the world. And so when you kill it, it damages them and kind of like knocks them back into their plane of existence to recover for a while.
Probably what's happening here, I would assume. I feel like things have staying power in Supernatural. Like, things don't just die all of a sudden. Like, unless they're like low-level demons or something.
Yep, little minions. So anyway, they win. The Marie is fighting the Scarecrow on stage, and she's like, "No chick flick moments," and then stabs the Scarecrow, and at the same time, the Dean Sam. Dang it, Sam stabs Calliope.
It's hard.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
It's too hard.
And so then they both poof into purple goo, and everyone thinks it's part of the show, and they stand up and clap.
Yep, and it's great. And I want to then say, little Marie, who's got to be 15 or 14, has a conversation with Dean, actual Dean, and he calls her a bitch.
Yes.
I was like, what? She's like a 14-year-old girl. What are you doing?
Okay, I will explain that. But right before that, something that happens that I love is it's this very huge climactic moment, and when she stabs the guy and it explodes into purple goo, everybody stands up, standing ovation, claps, the curtain closes, and big lighted letters say intermission.
Yeah.
It was like, where are they gonna go from here?
Space robots and stuff, man.
Yeah,
like,
apparently
they got a plan.
So the whole jerk bitch comment is actually, I don't know if it continues on throughout the show, but it happens. It's a nod to the first episode, where something happens and Sam calls Dean a jerk, and then Dean calls Sam a bitch, and then they hug it out, bro, and then they go off and do their stuff. And since Marie is dressed up as Sam, that's where that light comes on in Dean's eyes after he says it, because he's like, oh, this isn't actually my brother. This isn't actually my little brother. It actually is a 14-year-old girl.
It's a little girl that I just called a bitch. I'm a terrible person.
He kind of just shakes it off, and then Marie smiles and stuff.
Okay.
So that was that. And then after that, I love the little moment where Sam is about to give Dean his like Jeff Winger speech, like, let's get back on the road, bro. And then the exact same conversation happens preemptively on stage between the two fake Sam and Deans, and it's great. And then they drive off.
But then Sam just goes, what she said.
Yeah. And then Carry On My Wayward Son, and it's very pretty because they all have beautiful voices, but it is what it is. They're no Kansas.
Yeah, and should we get into like a music part of this now?
Sure, let's go for it.
Okay, so someone actually pointed this out in the YouTube comments, which I swear was the only thing I looked at, so I don't know any quiz answers, I promise.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But someone was like, I'm really kind of annoyed at hearing them do those 16th notes really fast. So they go, carry on my wayward son. They go really fast, but that song doesn't actually do that. It's carry on my wayward son. It's slower, you know what I'm saying?
They hold it longer, yeah, but yeah.
They popified it, which,
they did.
Which was fine. Until they all started singing together. And then they're all doing the same, like, little ornamentals and little riffs and things. And it's like, come on, girls. It reminded me of high school when it was,
when everybody wants to be the soloist.
Everybody wants to be the soloist.
Which, again, maybe it's true to form, because it is a high school,
Yeah, it probably is true to form, and that's fine. But it just didn't make as beautiful as a piece as Dude Tears or whatever it was, Single Man Tear.
Single Man Tear.
That was my favorite song. Single Man Tear.
I want to hear
Beautiful.
All of it. I'm going to look it up and see if there's like a soundtrack with all three of the songs in their
I don't
entirety.
think so.
Well, that's stupid because there should be.
Yeah, the promo for this promised a musical episode, and I think people were kind of disappointed that Sam and Dean don't actually sing. And I mean, I am too, because I like when that happens, when the characters sing, but it was nice to bring in these young girls with good voices.
Especially if Jake Jake J. Is it Jake?
JJ. Who are you talking about?
Dean. Who plays Dean? Jensen Ackles.
Oh, I don't. Oh,
Jensen Ackles. And Jared Padalecki. Maybe they can't sing.
Possible. I think more is that they wanted to do a show in homage to the this particular subsection of their fan base that really gets into the fan fiction and the shipping and everything, and probably is high school girls who like musicals too.
It absolutely makes sense, and I agree with it. But again, it was so good. I just wish there was more of it. And we talked about that in, I think it was actually Fringe, where their stuff was good, but when it was good, they quit too early.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they hung on too much. I remember that episode because I didn't really like when Olivia sang. She got an entire 3-minute song to herself. And I was like, well, you are fine. That's, what you're doing is pleasant enough to listen to, but not for 3 minutes.
Right. I want to hear that other girl singing.
Yeah. I want to hear Astrid.
Yeah. Yes. Yes,
yeah,
that's her name.
And then the same exact thing happened here, where it was the girl solos are incredible, and then we're going to do this Carry On Wayward Son, which I want to say probably, it seems like fans of this show were very, very moved by this moment. So I want to respect that and say that it probably, if we had watched it all the way through those 10 seasons, we would have felt really into it and really moved by that particular song and their reactions to it and what it meant for them and stuff. But musically, it just wasn't all that interesting.
Yes, and I agree. And at the very end of the episode, to wrap it up, she's like, "Look, it's the publisher." And so they walk up, and there's this. We see this. We don't see the person yet. She talks to him and she's like, I know it's got some rough spots, but how would you think? And it pans to this guy, and it's supposed to be a big reveal that falls completely flat on both of us because we have no idea who it is.
Did you look it up? Can you tell me?
I didn't look it up.
I kind of want to know.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's the writer of the Supernatural books, that guy. And I think from what I've read in the trivia, I think the viewer is supposed to think that he's dead.
I was thinking that because it was supposed to be very, very significant when he was shown finally.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, it's all right.
Is he evil or is he a friend?
I don't know.
Boy, if fans of this show listen to us, they're going to be like yelling at their podcasting device.
His name is Rob Benedict. Yeah, Chuck Surly is his character's name, and yeah, he's the author of those books.
I think he like fought with them for a while. I don't know. Okay, fans of this show, get on Facebook, get on Twitter, and yell at us. Okay, tell us what we're getting wrong, what we're missing, and we want to know. And you're not out there. You're not listening to this, but you know.
No, I have a couple of friends. I have a couple of friends who are pretty rabid about Supernatural, and if they happen to listen to the podcast, they might, just because if I tweet it out, it's like. They don't follow me on Twitter. If I send a message out that's like, hey, we did Supernatural, they might actually watch it or listen to it. Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll see what happens. And then Sam and Dean ride off into the sunset in a mirror, kind of a bad CGI thing at the end, but it's supposed to mirror the set piece, which is fine. It's interesting. Yeah, so good stuff. Quiz? Do you want to do the quiz?
Sure.
Okay. So now we can talk about Carry On My Wayward Son. Why is it so significant? Did you pick it up from... So this is question 1, and it's a hard one. But why is it so significant? Why do fans love it so much?
Is it that particular song?
Mm-hmm.
Because their father was the one who originally was doing this, and then they kind of like followed in his footsteps. Is that why? It's like their father singing to them, sort of.
I'm sure that's very symbolic, and that's why they use the song, but that's not why the fans love it.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, because I mean, it's a very not alliterated device, but filmic device or TV show device to inspire nostalgia and whatever, blah blah blah. So at the end of every season, in the season finale, there's always a montage of big things that happened during the season, and it's always set to Carry On My Wayward Son.
Oh, really?
Yes. So in every season finale, the fans get to watch all of the big and most important and most meaningful things of the season happen to the backing of Carry On My Wayward Son. So
interesting. When
they hear this song being portrayed at the end of this thing, it's that visceral, emotional flashback to all of those. That ties it into all of those pieces of big things that happen.
Well, no wonder everyone loved it so much. I do want to say, now that you started talking about montages again, I didn't mention that at the beginning, we see every Supernatural title card.
Yes, I loved that.
I did too. I was like, oh my gosh, this show has gone through a lot, and it's like gone in different directions with different feels and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I like that they've been able to explore all that stuff, and I want to, yeah, you're right, go back and explore it with them now.
I do too. I love the lead up to it as well, because it's Marie looking at their title card for the show, and she's like, I don't know, I just want it to be a little more like... and she makes her hand. Yeah. She goes whoosh, whoosh, with her hands, and then it goes in and does all the different title cards, and it's great. It was really well done. I loved that part. Yeah. Okay, so there was that. Here's an easy one. What episode number is this?
200.
Yes.
Yay! Yeah, that's why they did a big thing.
Mm-hmm. It was funny because during the after party for episode 100, they all made jokes. They're like, see you again for episode 200. And then they did.
Yeah.
It was great.
Because who would have thunk? Do you think this show suffers from running out of storyline and having to go like crazy places?
I mean, I guess probably. I would assume so. But the thing...
like never knowing if they're going to get canceled, and so it feels like, hey, the world should have ended back there, and there's now this convoluted reason why it didn't.
Right. Yeah, I agree. But then, again, when you have a show like this, or Twilight, like, you can do those things and kind of write it off to, oh, it was a supernatural thingamajiggy, and we beat it. So,
yeah.
We win again.
Yeah.
I died twice. It doesn't matter. I came back from hell twice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm interested in how they handle that.
Okay, here's Here's a, well, I don't know if it's an easy one. It would be an easy one for me, but that's just because I know the answer already. So Sam says, look, man, no EMF, no hex bags, none of the props are even remotely hinky. Other than the Charlie Kaufman of it all, I got nothing. Who is Charlie Kaufman? What is that reference to?
I don't know what any of those words are.
EMF is electromagnetic frequency, so it's like ghost signs. Hex bags would be like some kind of little witchy curse bag. None of the props are even remotely hinky, so like nobody's using a like cursed object like an old Indian death dagger or whatever as a prop that they found in their dad's basement or whatever. He says, other than the Charlie Kaufman of it all, I got nothing.
Oh, so Charlie Kaufman is probably a person. Charlie Kaufman of it all. I don't know. Maybe he was an actor who was just kind of creepy, but not actually supernatural in any way.
Not quite. That's fine. Oh. Charlie Kaufman is an incredible writer. He's a screenwriter.
Oh.
He wrote the screenplay for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Adaptation, The Genius of Schenectady, New York. He's just a really brilliant writer. And but he's a writer's writer. He's an auteur, and so he's a lot of critics, are like he's just one of those writers that is, writing weird or convoluted for convoluted's sake, or just too artsy fartsy. I don't want to think about it. Movies. I love his movies, and I love watching him. I love watching them play out, and the way he has characters interact. But other people tend to be like, it's too artsy. Anyway, that's all.
Okay. So Sam was saying he's just kind of creepy.
Well, he's just saying that the play is a little bit out there. The weirdest he's saying the weirdest thing about the play is that it's kind of got its head really far up its own butt.
All right. Gotcha.
All right. All right. Now the hardest question of them all.
Oh, no.
What kind of car is Baby?
A Mercury Comet.
No.
Okay.
Good job. Good job, though.
I just named an old car.
It's fine. It's a 1967 Impala SS 4-door.
Oh, Impala. I think I might have known that it was an Impala. I hate Impalas.
The old ones?
Well, maybe not the old ones. I think I'm just familiar with the new ones, and I hate the new ones.
Okay.
I think they're
Why do you
so
hate the
dumb.
new ones?
Because they're boring, and they're trying to be like a luxury car, but also trying to be like a Camry. And I just think they're so stupid. I don't know. I had a boss back in the day who I didn't like, who had an Impala, and so I don't like Impalas.
That's fine. Perfectly valid reason. Yeah, I don't care for them either. Anywho, there you go. That's the quiz. All done. I couldn't really do much more than that because neither of us know anything about the show. So
Right.
we didn't
Well,
really
do you
know any
who
of the
does
references or anything.
Do you know who does know about the show?
I don't know.
People in the YouTube comments.
Oh yeah, good segue. Go for it.
Yep. I'm pulling it up. Sorry. Projects, podcast, Supernatural. Okay, prepare yourself.
I'm prepared.
Okay.
Be prepared.
Halloween episode. Okay. So do you remember how I told you that there are lots of like dudes defending themselves in the comments for actually liking this show?
Sure.
Diaz V17 is one of them. He says, "It seems like Supernatural's fan base is mostly teenage girls." Oh, I'm gonna bleep out, or I'm gonna like all the F words and stuff. I don't know. My parents sometimes listen to this, so I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say those words. Okay,
that's fine. If you slip up, I'll beep it out for you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, seems like Supernatural's fan base is mostly teenage girls. But I'm a dude. I'm 21, fairly manly, if you will. But I'm so hooked to this show, I would pass for another fangirl if I wasn't so freakishly big, LOL. In hindsight, this episode was pretty great. I loved this song. The finale made me remember it. And here I am almost crying. And there's an emoji with a tear. This is too beautiful. Punches a wall. This guy really, really needs to defend his manhood.
He's like, what did he say? I'm fairly manly, if you will. What if I won't?
Yeah.
What if I won't?
He's 22 and fairly manly. He's also apparently freakishly big.
Freakishly big.
Okay. Go on, bro. Go on. Punch a wall. But this is different than Letus Thanatos, who says, I am the god of rivers, and one is being created right now through my eyes. That's a big river enough to flood the world.
What?
I think
People on
that
the
person
internet
is
are
trying
weird.
to say they're crying.
I think that's probably, or just peeing themselves.
Yeah. From their eyes.
Right. Yep.
One is being created right now through my eyes. Fear me. Okay. One Direction Girl 7. See how I told you about that? Says, in all caps, by the way, so just imagine she's yelling.
Sure.
Every time I watch this, I cry buckets of tears. You hear that storm outside? Yeah, that's my sobs and tears coming down, and my wheezing is the wind.
Why does everyone want their emotional outburst to be compared with the weather or natural formations?
I think it's like trying to communicate the feeling that you're feeling to such an nth degree that is unique.
Got it. To the point that every single person is doing the exact same thing.
Right. I'm sure the very first person who said my ovaries exploded was very, very unique. But then everyone else after that, or I literally can't even. These are all these Tumblr phrases that started on Tumblr. So then, similarly, another all caps comment from just Mason, simply Mason.
Oh, nice. Good.
I kept making straining noises because I'm dead inside from this, and my mom asked if I was constipated. No, Mom, I'm dying.
That's my favorite one.
No punctuation, just all caps. It was really a feeling. Yeah.
I love the connection between like feeling dead inside but straining because of it. It's like, I feel so much that I feel nothing at all.
Yeah, this is a very common Tumblr feeling.
Oh, just me saying that, I would like to break in. What's with the weird Batman voices? Sam and Dean?
When?
In the entire episode, both of them, are like, man, we should check that out. I don't want to go check that out. Well, we better. It's probably a real thing. It can't be a real thing. It's a coincidence. Oh, come on, bro. We got work to do. Boom.
I'm Batman. I didn't notice that.
Well, I noticed it very much the second time watching it because after I went back and watched the pilot, they don't do that in the pilot. They use normal human people voices in the pilot.
Maybe they just feel like there's they're around these teenage girls who are like really into Sam and Dean, so they're like, oh, we have to put on a persona. How do you put on a persona?
This is even before that. This is when they were leaving the hotel room before they even got into the town.
Oh, I don't know.
Go listen if you do it. If you go back to the pilot, watch the pilot, then go back and watch just like the first opening bit where they're in the hotel room, and especially Dean is like, and it's a little off-putting.
I mean, apparently he was just recently a demon, so maybe he's like a residual effects.
Sorry,
still getting over the symptoms.
I got a bad case of the RBVs, the residual Batman voice.
Yeah. So my last little comment is from someone named Malblargio, and it's just a little bit of a concerning comment. Okay. This person says, seriously though, this was during the this was for a clip for the when they're attacking the scarecrow on stage while they're singing about man tears. She says, seriously though, this is such an accurate portrayal of what theater kids are like. Dean got thrown through the friggin' windmill, and the girl playing Dean in the musical just kept going. That's what happens. A lady had a seizure in the middle of one of the rehearsals for a show I was in, and I continued. Should you be proud of that? Should that have been something you did? It was a rehearsal. Was she on stage with you? Was she in the audience? I don't know.
Right.
But she had a seizure. Maybe you should have stopped what the hell you were doing.
Yeah,
to see if she was
agree.
okay. Or
I
to
agree
not
with that.
distract people trying to help her.
Right, exactly. No. Eyes on me.
Eyes on
Eyes on
me.
me.
I am singing about.
I'm singing it.
I'm
Oklahoma,
singing right now.
probably. Because, you know.
Yeah, it's a high school production, probably.
It's high school production. I love that little line where he's like, Oklahoma? Or he's like, you were in that dumb musical. It was Oklahoma. Hugh Jackman got cast from Oklahoma. You ran Tech, Wolverine.
It's so good.
The little quips are great.
They're very good at the quips. They're very good at them. What else we got?
Not a whole lot.
Who could
I don't
make
think
it?
anything.
I mean, who could make it?
Sure, who can make it? All of those little girls.
Yeah. I especially like the Dean little girl.
I did too. I thought she was great. They're all relatively fresh faces. I mean, I looked them up on IMDb, and most of them have just been in little shorts and just one-off roles on television shows. A couple of them are in like a couple Disney things, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. So good on you. Maybe they will make it to Broadway someday.
Yeah.
Keep the dream alive, kids.
Shoot for the stars, children. What year did this come out?
It's season 10, so last year?
Was it really?
I think so.
Is this the
2014
latest
probably?
season on Netflix?
It is the latest season on Netflix, yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And it's a good thing we chose to do this now because it just recently hit Netflix, I think. Just within the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Season
Sweet.
10 did, so. Hooray for us.
Yeah, we had to do it for Halloween, man. It's supernatural Halloween. They go together.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Gem is coming out next, and we'll have to change some of our little ending cards on that. But Gem is coming out next, and I'm being Gem for Halloween. I just bought my pink hairspray the other day.
That's
I'm so excited.
awesome.
Remember my name, Gem. Okay. Should we rate?
Yeah, let's rate it. I mean, there weren't really any tropes and themes, were there?
I mean, the beginning. Okay, we could do themes and tropes. Yeah, let's do it with the music because that first song is very narrative. It actually kind of reminds me of like an Andrew Lloyd Webber thing, even
It does,
he was
yeah.
mentioned earlier, because it's got the drums in the background, but it's it's a sort of melodic melody line, but like a lyrical sounding melody line, and sung
It contains
by
a ton of
a
information.
pretty voice. Yeah, and it contains a lot of information. And I like it. But it's not like Les Mis, you know. It's not like,
no.
I am singing right now and you don't know what I'm doing. I am singing.
Right. Yes. No, I understand.
That's my theme to contribute. You go for a theme.
I don't have any. That's why I was like, should we even do themes and tropes? Because I don't have any. It just felt very musical, you know, like very high school style musical, just way higher production value.
Well, but I think the music was definitely, except for the lyrics, was like way, very obviously, they put a lot of work into it.
That's true. It's true. I love
and they
the
made
little line.
It like good.
I love the little line where Dean's like, I know you guys all really want to see this work out, and the one girl in white says, I wanted to do Wicked.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that would have been easier.
Yeah. Because I'm sure he's thinking of like, okay, killing Elphaba or killing this twig man.
Killing a witch, your generic witch, or a Greek goddess.
Right.
I'll take the witch.
I love that I don't know how to feel because it's so funny because she's so singing it so beautiful. A single man tear. But she's singing a single man tear, right? It's hilarious.
It's very funny.
The piano is so pretty in the background.
I agree with you.
And normally I would be like, pick one emotion that I'm supposed to feel. But at this point, I am so happy to not know whether to laugh or just awe. I'm so happy with it. I don't know what kind of theme, what kind of trope, like, would that be? What is it reminds me of like the music sort of reminds me of like a Jason Robert Brown song. Like some sort of very piano, like lots of movement in the piano sort of song. But the funny but serious at the same time, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. I think maybe it only works on TV.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about it either, but I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it totally works.
Good job. Good on you. Supernatural.
A single man tear, a single man tear. But she doesn't overdo it. That's the other thing, is like whoever directed these girls did a good job, because none of them are they're all very genuine in their singing. And it could very easily be melodramatic. Like, it could very easily venture into this territory of I don't believe you.
Right.
And
yeah,
but they
natural.
all should go to Broadway because they're all so good. I believe in all of you girls. Go for it. I want you to do it.
Yep, it's good stuff. I really, really enjoyed the music to it completely. I thought it was a perfect dichotomy of funny and serious, because I was at the same time, I feel the same way. I was at the same time impressed by the musicality and laughing because it was hilarious what they were saying.
Yes, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's self-aware. So I think we should rate, because I am ready.
I think we should too. You go first.
I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna rate it. There wasn't a whole lot of music. I'm gonna go ahead and rate it an 8 out of 10 single man tears. I have to.
I that's why I wanted you to go first, because I knew you were going to pick it, and then I knew it was going to force me to pick something else. I am not going to rate it an 8. I think 7.5. Just because there wasn't as much music as I really wanted there to be.
And Sam and Dean didn't sing.
What there was perfect. If I rated it just on the music that I heard, it would be a 9 easily. But as an episode as a whole, a musical episode as a whole, it was a little bit, I don't know, not disappointing, because lacking.
No, it's lacking.
I wasn't disappointed at all. It was just a little lacking. I will rate it a 7.5 out of 10 stupid red high school girl berets.
Her whole outfit, she's such a caricature at that beginning.
Of an auteur director. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know, she actually reminded me of Rachel Berry from Glee, and I don't know if it was trying to poke a little at that.
Maybe. I have seen one episode of Glee, and it was the episode with both Idina Menzel and Neil Patrick Harris on it.
Yes.
When she is staring at herself in the mirror, and she's like, "I understudied Sam. I used this for my one-woman show of Orphan Black last year," which is hilarious. Have you seen Orphan Black?
No.
It's the same actress doing a bunch of different roles, because they're all clones. And it was just funny for her to say a one-woman show, because what else would you need? I'm like doing a one-woman show of Orphan Black last year, and she puts on the wig, and it's terrible. It's so
like
bad.
all over her face.
But she looks so seriously. She's like, writer, director, actor. I'm a Barbra Streisand this bitch, and then it just goes right into the thing.
Yes, perfect line delivery.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I loved it. It was really, really good. Yeah. So yes, I will rate it a 7.5 out of 10, which, but on the high side. High 7.5.
So like a 7.75.
No, a 7.5 plus.
Okay. Woo, it was Halloween.
Spooky episode. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're going to do next, do we?
Yeah, we do. It's Gem.
Oh, you're right. It is Gem, because we're inserting this one. Get ready for Gem.
remember my name, Jam.
Yep. I think you'll be surprised.
Truly, truly, truly outrageous. Whoa, Jam, Jam, the music's contagious. Guys, I haven't sung in a while. I'm like getting ready to sing. I'm going to do this gig where I'm dressed up like Jem and I'm going to sing in it. I'm getting ready for it. I'm getting very excited to sing. Also like dressed up as Jem for Halloween. And I can't wait. And so I just wanted to sing a little solo for you, which is going to go, Jam is truly outrageous, truly, truly, truly outrageous. Whoa, Jam, Jam, the music's contagious. I was into Jam as like an 8-year-old. You'll hear all about it.
I don't know it at all, which is why I'm not singing along. Plus, the first time I watched it, I didn't even watch the one with the correct opening song.
Truly, truly outrageous.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. I do. I'm feeling it. Feeling the thing that you're saying.
The emotions.
The emotions. Anyway, Jem, it is. We watched both the first and second episode. I found them both on Vimeo. I didn't see them on anywhere on YouTube, so look those up so you can follow along with us and have a great old time hanging out in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. We are very firmly in the 80s with these.
Very much so. It was a lot of fun. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
all right.
Cool.
Plugs and bugs.
I'm on Twitter at VixKayla.
I'm on Twitter at Joshua_Rhodes.
We, together as a podcast, are on Twitter as @podcastmusical, which I now have memorized, so don't even try and test me anymore. I know what is the, and I know what doesn't have a the.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Where else, Josh?
Well, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/podcastmusical. You can look us up, search for Podcast the Musical on iTunes, or you can go to thepodcastthemusical.com where all of the relevant links and episodes are if you want to listen to us online. That's pretty much it. If you need to contact one of us personally, email us at Josh or Kayla at podcastthemusical.com and we will get that. And maybe we'll read it on the show if it's any good. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it hilarious, and then we'll definitely read it.
Yeah, or just send us anything at all, really.
Sure. Fan art, photoshops.
Do you like the photoshops I've been making?
I do. I love them. That last one about with Father Chad was hilarious.
Did you like it?
That.
I never tell Josh before I never show him what I'm making while I make it. I just submit it suddenly, and I always get a kick out of picturing what he thinks and what his face looks like when he sees it for the first time.
It's always laughter.
I know it is, because I know what makes you laugh, at least visually.
Yes.
Hey, everybody, just make sure that you carry on.
My wayward son.
There'll be
peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. No. I don't remember there being gunshots in it.
It's in Kansas, let's be honest.